Ano ang susunod na hakbang ng Bulatlat? At kung po niyan, makakusap natin live ang kanilang abogado si Attorney Frank Lloyd Tiongson.
Kasama rin natin mga kapatid ang Managing Editor ng Bulatlat na si Len Olea. Good evening po sa inyo, Ma'am and Sir. Yes, Ma'am and Sir.
Magandang gabi rin sa inyo at sa inyong mga viewers.
Magandang gabi po.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Well, let me start off with this kasi ang sabi ng korte na access naman daw yung inyong website. I think they were using data sa cellphone nila. Pero sinubukan ko i-access ang website niyo sa broadband sa bahay, hindi ako makapasok. So I'm wondering which is which, what is what? Na-access nga ba o hindi?
We were puzzled also nung panahon na yun why some browsers or it might be dependent on the ISP that they are subscribed to are able to access at that time. It bears noting na nung panahon na sinulat namin yung aming complaint as well as the application for TRO and the application for a writ of preliminary injunction na at that time, it was not accessible across the board, across all ISPs. But at that moment when we were in the court, it was puzzling for us to find out that it was being able to access. Although afterwards, we also received news from different colleagues and other people that di naman din nila ma-access. Maybe it's dependent on the ISP or the browser that they're using. But at that point, it became the conclusion of the court that the alternative news website is still able to publish.
Yes. Well, Attorney and Len, just to follow up on that, kasi whatever the implementation of the NTC order is, the fact still remains that may order ang NTC. So I'm wondering kung bakit hindi doon ma-address yung issue na the order is still in effect regardless of the implementation.
Yes, that's true po, Sir Ed. Kaya medyo nalulungkot kami na hindi nag-grant yung aming petition for TRO because although some subscribers reported that they are able to access, hindi natin maitatatwa na kalakhan po maraming mga subscribers. Tingin namin 50%, no, based on sa latest na check namin sa aming analytics, ang drop dun sa viewers ng bulatlat.com.
Attorney and Ms. Len, dahil nga na-access yung inyong website doon sa korte, sinasabi po na wala namang suppression ng freedom of speech dito. So, kayo po ba nakaka-receive pa rin po ng reports na hindi nga ho na-access ang inyong website? Medyo karugtong lang po ito ng tanong ni Bok kanina.
Yes, until now po, nagtanong din kami sa aming social media accounts kung na-access ba ng aming subscribers ang bulatlat.com at marami pong nag-reply and share their screenshots in fact na hindi nila ma-access. At tingin po namin this constitutes censorship pa rin, no? Although ang right to publish naman kasi dapat ang extension niyan the right to be able to distribute your content, 'di ba? So pag tinanggalan ka ng main
All right.
To supplement,
lalo na kung ang intended ay hindi makabasa or maka-access ng iyong content.
Pero, Ms. Len, paano nyo ipagpapatuloy yung argumento nyo pag ganito na parang ang nangyayari, kayo lang po ang may claim, and of course, yung sinasabi nyo mga reports na hindi ma-access ang website nyo, pero yung korte po, na-access nga nila. Paano po nyo iikutan? Hindi man iikutan, pero paano nyo ididiretso yung argumento nyo, i-reconcile ito?
Without necessarily revealing our legal strategies for the next proceedings. Maybe this is just my opinion as an advocate for the news website. No, we would like to extend the notion of free press to the notion of being able to freely publish without any arbitrary restraint. And that means the act of writing and subsequently causing the publication of a news article commentary. We want to argue that it comes with an aspiration that it will be read by a wide readership and as possible. And if we are to actualize yung principle that the free discourse in society is essential to a democracy, this is all the more significant for an alternative news website such as bulatlat.com, which part of its aim is to, in the first place, is to amplify already muted voices in society. So in reaching that goal, in achieving that trust as a news organization, we would like to argue, we would like to extend the notion of freedom of the press to that notion that it does not only mean that you are able to publish you are able to write, you are able to send it out, but it must also come with the access to on the part of the readers as wide as possible, because that's the intended that's the intended purpose of the news organization in the first place. So the incidents or the developments earlier, we don't even know if that's something that will be maintained. And developments might also happen wherein baka ma-block ulit during the intervening period. And we reserve the right or the option to be able to manifest that before the court.
Well, attorney, like I said nga kanina, sa cellphone ko, I could access your website, pero sa bahay, sa broadband, hindi. But then when I used the VPN, then I was able to access that
Yes.
website. So medyo uneven nga yung implementation. But the fact is that it's being implemented, at least partially. Pero ito po, so far we've been talking about the TRO petition lamang. But is there any move to, for example, raise questions over the power or the authority of the NTC to block a website unilaterally?
Yes, actually, that's one of the grounds raised in the main action. That the and I'm just echoing what has already been stated in the complaint, which is publicly circulated in the first place, that the authority of the NTC does not exist to block websites. As we have noted, the creature of blocking or restricting access to computer data was initially conceptualized under the cybercrime law under Section 19. But the power was reserved to the DOJ, and as per the decision of the Supreme Court in Decini versus Secretary of Justice, it was declared unconstitutional. So at this point, the power is the existence of such power is something that is suspect, and that is something that we want to question before the court. So it's not just the violation of the constitutional rights that we are asserting in this case, but also the fact that the NTC acted without any authority to restrict or block access to the website.
Panghuli mula sa akin, Attorney Chongson or kay Ms. Len, nakikita niyo ho bang aabot hanggang Korte Suprema ang inyong paglaban para ho dito sa inyong website?
Ako muna, I don't, depending on the, we can't really foresee what will happen in the case. We of course hope for a favorable judgment or a favorable resolution, at least of the immediate reliefs that we are praying for at the moment. But as to whether it will reach the Supreme Court is something that I cannot foresee at the moment, because there are a lot of factors or variables to take into account. Maybe there would be a change in disposition on the part of the NTC, and there would be a change in disposition on the part of the new National Security Advisor. And in the intervening period, it might be rescinded and the action might become moot. But what is important at this point is to be able to raise these important questions.
That's an interesting point. Tony and Len, so you're looking at a new National Security Advisor who may, at least may, have a different perspective on this issue, and who may change or reverse the order.
Yes, we have that. We're operating under the context that we have a change in administration. There might be changes in disposition, and we remain hopeful, of course, that there would be a reversal of this act. But the question remains whether the fact is that it happened, and definitely it's not something that we want to happen again in the future. So it is very important to raise these questions right now, notwithstanding any change of disposition or notwithstanding any change of opinion on the part of the ruling administration. The right to free press is not supposed to be made subject to the disposition of the government. It's supposed to be subject to the rule of law and to the Constitution.
All right. Alright, maraming
Pwede po magdagdag.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Ms. Len. Sige po. Go ahead po.
Yes, yung mahalagang-mahalaga po sa amin ang kasong ito, hindi lang para sa Bulatlat, kundi sa buong media community dahil ginagamit yung ATA. In fact, kanina sa summary hearing, no, sinasabi nila na ATA daw or Anti-Terrorism Act yung naging basis para dun sa memo na inilabas ng NTC. So, delikado po ito na batas at dapat makita ng lahat na kailangan talaga itong pigilan. Kung hindi, ay maaari nilang gawin itong muli. Hindi lamang sa Bulatlat, kundi sa iba pang media outlets.
Alright. Understood, ma'am. Marami pong salamat sa inyo, Attorney
Maraming
Frank
salamat.
Lloyd Chongson, Legal
Maraming
Counsel,
salamat.
at Leno Lea, Managing Editor ng Bulatlat. Salamat po, sir and ma'am.